So I just got back from watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and oh my god, this might be the movie of the summer. Like, in all honesty, this movie was something that I was not expecting. I was expecting this movie to be very funny, very over the top, and it was that. But in turn, we also got a lot more with that, which I was not expecting. And I think in general, this movie, yeah, it exceeded my expectations a lot. I think there was a few parts that I think were below expectations. For the most part, I was expecting this to be like a dumbed down, more clean version of the Deadpool movies we've originally got. I thought this is going to be a fresh start for Deadpool, mostly in a way, but that's not what we got. This is still the same Deadpool. It's somehow still a continuation of Deadpool 1 and 2, which I was not expecting at all. So I think that's a great part about this, is that it continues that story. It's not like this new rough cut, oh, Deadpool's in the MCU now, let's completely reboot his character and redo everything about him. It's still the same Deadpool, except now he's in the MCU. That's pretty much the only change we have here. And I will say it really quickly, man, oh my god, this movie is so funny. And I know everyone's gonna say that, oh my god, it's Deadpool, it's gonna be funny. This is exceedingly more funny than I was expecting. I think also as well, this movie overall does a great job in introducing these new fans to the character of Wolverine and to just that universe entirely. This whole movie itself is an ode to the 20th Century Fox, X-Men era, the Marvel era that they had. This whole movie is an ode to that. It's an emotional story about that. And let's go back to the plot really quick. This movie, I think, does a great job at balancing its funny moments and making a true plot that isn't just full of cameos. Yes, there are cameos in this movie. I will not spoil them here because I got them. I got one of the major ones spoiled for me before I saw the movie, and that kind of sucked. But yeah, there's a lot of cameos in this. But I like Sean Levy and how he's able to balance both cameos and action and true story. I think he does a great job with that. I think Sean Levy in general does a great job with this movie. Let's be honest here. His action in this movie, I know everyone's already said it, is superbly done, especially that opening sequence. It's just a chef's kiss of funny and action and callbacks. It's great. And I think also there's a bunch of other great action scenes. I think that there's a side shot he does at one point for a scene that looks really good. I think he was rumored to be the next director for the next Avengers movie. And I think that is now the Russo brothers. Once again, they're going to be taking back the helm of the Avengers. But if that's not happening, give the job to Sean Levy. I think he did a phenomenal job with this movie, especially considering his other work. I think he was the director of Night at the Museum, and it's crazy to hear. The director of the Night at the Museum movies is now directing a top tier, high quality, insanely high budget, one of the top grossing movies of all time, Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, that's a crazy sentence that should not be happening. Acting wise, let's talk about that. Acting wise, I think Hugh Jackman does a great job. I think he's still able to be emotional, even though his saga technically already ended, and he's kind of really playing this whole new guy. If you've seen from the trailers, it's a whole new guy. So I think he's able to not like have this impact of him being Logan, because he's gone. Logan's gone. They're not changing the ending of Logan, but I think that they're able to balance this emotionalness and everything so well, especially Hugh. He's able to make some very good comedic moments and still play this stoic, testosterone-filled hero that is Wolverine. And then let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. He always does a great job with Deadpool, as per usual, and this movie is no different. I do think he does definitely have like a bit of a higher, I don't know why, he has a bit of a higher quality of expressions in this film, a lot more over the top than the previous Deadpool films, which is a crazy thing to say because the original Deadpool films were already so over the top, to be honest with you here. And then also just the fact of the matter is that everyone acting in this does a great job. I love our villain. I don't want to fully spoil that. Matthew McFadden, the TVA agent that we get, does a great job in his role. And lastly, I really do quickly want to talk about the production design. The production design in this film is outstanding. I think the sets that we do get more in the city area and the TVA look really good. Speaking of production, I don't know how this movie didn't get spoiled, like, at all, or leaked throughout its process, because the only true, like, leak we got was that Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds were back wearing the, like, original outfits. Hugh was actually going to wear the original, like, Wolverine costume, and I think that was a great idea from him. And that's the only true leak we got before this release, other than people just, like, talking about spoilers. But this movie has its flaws, though, I do think. And I think just also, in general, some stuff does not work with this movie. I do think this movie could have been a lot shorter. I think at one point we do pretty much go in circles. Especially in that middle part, there's some stuff I think could have been excluded. This is only like a 2-hour movie, I believe. So like, I don't know if they really could have made it much shorter and still had it be that 2-hour runtime, because I think that's kind of what they shoot for with Marvel movies. Most of them are usually 2 to 3 hours long. So I do get where they're coming from, because there definitely was room to include that stuff, but I feel like at some points this film does get very repetitive with its plot. And it feels like for a lot of this movie we're not going anywhere. And that's fine, because Deadpool is carrying this. Deadpool and Wolverine carry this. Their chemistry or not chemistry of this film completely carries this in all of it, pretty much. But that's my out of theater reaction to Deadpool. I'll have a review out later this week. But what are your thoughts on the movie? If you've already seen it, let me know in the comments. No spoilers, please. I know people still have not seen this movie. Let's be respectful to them. Let's not get to the spoilers. Like, you would not want to be spoiled for it anyways if you haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy it, like and subscribe. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.